All right. On today's episode, I welcome on a very special guest. He's Silas Manning. He's a senior guard for Rocky Hill Country Day School boys basketball team. Silas, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me, by the way. I just wanted to say
Yeah,
that.
no problem, man. Very happy to have you on the show. I really appreciate you making time for me and coming on the show with the busy schedules that we both have. um, so, first of all, before we start talking about your basketball season, obviously everything, but you signed up for a great charitable cause that's coming up this in August. You're playing in a Shot for Life. What's that feeling like to be a part of that?
I am. Honestly, I'm very excited. I'm super happy that I got the opportunity. Thanks to Mike Slonina and everybody else over at A Shot for Life. They're great people. And I was supposed to play in the Gauntlet last year, which is the event that everybody can sign up for. And if you guys are watching this and would like to contribute, I would definitely encourage you guys to sign up for the Gauntlet because anybody can participate in that and you can also contribute to the cause. But I was supposed to play in that last year. And then I ended up tweaking my back a couple days before the event. So I didn't end up getting to go up to Starland Sports Complex and Mass to play. But I'm super happy they gave me the opportunity now to be representing in their Shot for Life challenge, where I got selected as one of the best 16 shooters to compete to be the best shooter. And also besides that, it's also like a really important cause to me because when I was about 2, my grandma actually died of cancer. So I never really got to form that bond with her. And I just hear like all the stories about like how great of a woman she was and stuff. So to be able to give back now really means a lot to me. Like even when I was younger, I would always wear like pink shoes or like a pink accessory or something when I play basketball, like for that reason. So
Yeah.
now it's really come full circle. It feels great.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, it's awesome to get back. And, I'm sorry to hear about your grandmother. Losing her at such a young age, it's definitely tough. I know how you feel. It happened to me with my grandmother, and I lost an aunt recently due to cancer as well, too. So, I mean, what a Shot for Life is doing and, you know, making such an impact on it. And I think combining basketball to help raise like money for like such like to go to cancer research is such an amazing thing. And I think, for you to be selected in that like top 16 of Rhode Island shooters, that's got to be a great feeling. What's it like when you see the guys across the competition and everything like that?
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm definitely trying to make some waves. So I've been in the gym a lot, getting shots up. But I mean, more so, like I'm super excited to compete, obviously, because as a basketball player, like as an athlete in general, like you look forward to that competition. But just being able to, like I said, like support this cause, I think is really great. Cause like you said, I feel like a lot of people, like when you try to like push fundraisers and stuff, kids will like overlook it or like think it's not like cool or whatever. But I feel like they do a really good job combining like basketball and that competitive edge
Yeah.
and then bringing like attaching that to the cancer research to like advertise it to like the youth, which is where they can really make a difference because we're like the future. So for us to start now with this stuff is like huge, I feel like.
Oh yeah, definitely. And like, what Mike obviously is doing over there and everything, saving some lives and being able to, keep giving the money to the cancer research is just an absolutely amazing thing. So that's awesome that you're such a part of a great cause and very well
Mhm.
spoken about the Shot for Life too. So that's a great man. That it sounds like you have a lot bright future ahead of just outside of basketball too, while being well spoken that you are.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. So we'll get into your basketball career now. So obviously, you just recently had the Knapsack Showcase come up. We just talked about it a little bit off air. You had some dealing with a little bit of a minor dealing with an injury and kind of set you back a little bit. But I mean, what was the experience just to be there and just have somewhat of an opportunity to get out there?
It was good to see like some coaches that I've talked to before, see them again and like check in and stuff. And also just to see like my teammates doing well, because obviously, as I was telling you, I got really unlucky and sprained my ankle 2 days before the event. But to see my teammates like thrive and succeed really like means a lot to me because I mean it's not you're on a team, it's about everybody. Um, you know what I mean? I want the success to be like shared.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it was
that's
also cool to just be out there and see like the class double A guys, like the guys you see on like Balls Life and stuff. See some of my friends also playing on other prep school teams. So to just see them for the first time in a while was cool.
that's really cool. Yeah, I mean, at least you got to be there, to be in the gym, root on your teammates, and see the experience of them and to be able to see what they're going through. So that's awesome, man, that you're able to be there. And now this off season, you have a big off season coming up because you're actually going to Rocky Hill Country Day School. What was the decision to go to Rocky Hill, and how are you preparing for the playing for them?
Yeah, so I was really close. Like I was like super close between going to Providence Country Day School or Rocky Hill Country Day. And my last year, my junior year, when I decided to reclass. And at the last minute, I decided to go to Providence Country Day. And I'm super grateful for every opportunity I got over there. Obviously, it didn't completely turn out my way just because of injury and other like transfers and other stuff that was like unpreventable. But now just with everything that's gone on the last year, I feel like it's best for me, at least also financially. I feel like it's just the best decision for my academic success, basketball and financial, to head to Rocky Hill. Also, Providence Country Day is transferring from NEPSAC to Interscholastic League. So I would not have eligibility to play there next year, but I'm still rooting for all of them. I hope that they kill it in D2 next year. I'll definitely be checking in on them.
That's exciting. Well, that's awesome. Congratulations to you going to Rocky Hill, who had an amazing season last year. I mean, what do you look forward to to playing with Coach Lottie and Coach Bub and Coach Mitchner? What's it like to play with, what are you looking forward to playing with those guys?
Yeah, I'm really excited for it because I played with them this last weekend, but like I said, I was at about probably like 25%.
Yeah.
But like since I almost went there last year, I had already played with a lot of the guys on the team, and I just like get along with them super. Like I feel like we flow together well, like on the court. There's no like selfishness. I feel like everybody wants to see everybody win, which is I feel like a recipe for a winning team. So I'm super excited for that.
That's awesome. And like you said, you have that chemistry already with those guys. What's it like to have that chemistry going into a season with those guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think it just helps a lot because when people have like side motives pushing during the season, like for individual accolades and stuff, like it can work if it's the right person and they know how to still play within the system. But I mean, the way you win, as you see, they won the SE&E, like they did great. They had a great run last season because all those guys are looking out for like the team goal, which is just to win games, which I feel like is really gonna be good for this season.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's going to be exciting for you guys. Obviously, I think, making a great team, and they're going to have another great team this year again. And I just feel like Rocky Hill's making some waves here in Rhode Island too. And it's like, was set the way by Tedrick and starting to get more guys to go there, and like yourself. And so that's going to be exciting to be a part of a school that it's getting some rich history.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited. It seems like I'm getting in on the ground floor, some that's going to turn into like a great program one day.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I know you have some great coaches over there, so it'll be great to work with those guys. And then your off season too. Like, what are you working on? I know you had an injury this past season. Like, what are you getting yourself getting back into basketball shape?
Yeah, so I ended up hurting my wrist this past high school season, and I couldn't even shoot a basketball for like a better part of like 2 months. So during that time, like as I was getting back, I had put on a little bit of weight and stuff, and I wasn't really happy with where I was at, mentally or physically, really. So rather than it took a lot of like deliberation to come to a decision, but I figured rather than push myself into an AAU season when I didn't think I was like fully ready, that I would just take the time, just work on myself. So I ended up losing about like 10 or 15 pounds of body fat. And I've put on like another like 10 pounds of muscle since then. So I've just been pushing really hard in the gym, trying to get better. And now that I've been able to play, I've been pushing back on the basketball court too. So it's really just about, I was just trying to do as much as I could within my limitations. Because I have a habit of trying to push myself too hard, like playing when I'm hurt and stuff. And I'm starting to see that it really never turns out my way. So I'm just trying to basically do as much as I can do within reason.
Yeah, I mean, it's a smart idea, and then like a good mentality to have to kind of take that step back and realize that you need to, not play through the injuries, which is, was an old school mentality back, playing, and it catches up with you when you get older too. Speaking of for myself, I listened, like, just was like, I'll push through an injury. So I definitely
Yeah,
it's not good.
like I love my dad so much, but he's definitely one of those people like I would get hurt and he'd be like, walk it off, get back out there, you know.
Yeah, yeah. It's that
Um,
rub some dirt mentality on it.
yeah, exactly, which I definitely am grateful for in some aspects, but then in other aspects, definitely isn't the best way to be.
So what's your motivation? I mean, being able to work out in the off season like you do and be able to push yourself and like you said, you dropped that 15 to 20 pounds. What's your motivation? Is that all self-motivated? Are you working with someone? Like how's that going?
No, so I've never really had a problem with motivation. Like growing up, not to like make it like a pity story or anything, but my parents like don't really have a lot. Like we would grow up with on like food stamps and stuff. My parents have been divorced since I was like a baby.
Yeah.
Um, so seeing that stuff growing up has just really given me self motivation to just want to do better for them and for myself. Like my main goal is just to like be able for my parents and me to like look back on like the things that I've done and say like I'm proud of that, like I'm proud of those decisions. So I mean that goes into like it obviously sucks not being able to afford like a basketball trainer or like athletic training sessions and stuff, or at least not consistently. Like I've been to workouts here and there, but I'm honestly grateful for it in some ways because it really forced me to, it's not just about the motivation. That's what a lot of people see. A lot of people think it's just motivation to go to the gym, but the
Yeah.
motivation to be at my house and like be doing research on the things that I should be doing and shouldn't be doing and learning how to like make my own workouts and stuff. I feel like is just as if not more important because it's not just how hard you're working in the gym, but it's what you're working on that makes a big difference.
Man, I love it. I love the attitude and the mentality that you have and just being able to the self-motivation that you have of yourself. And it says a lot for someone your age. A lot of kids don't have that self-motivation and for you to be hungry enough and to keep going and the drive and especially for your parents and for yourself too. Says something a lot about yourself.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Seriously, thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Yeah, of course, man. That's great. That's crazy. And it's great for yourself that you can keep working on. So are you watching like film or anything in the off season or anything?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I watch like the pro games and like college games and try to pick on up on those things. But then also, like, I went through this a lot. Because I really one of my biggest problems that I wish I wasn't so bad about is it ties into like being so motivated like I am is like when I do something wrong, like I really like hone in on it and really don't let myself like get over it. So like
Yeah.
looking back at film from like of myself from the season two and just seeing like things that I could have done better and like spots that I should have been in. Which most of it boiled down to just like physical conditioning because like I said, I wasn't even 100% healthy during high school season.
Yeah.
Um, so just being able to see those things and then incorporate that into the gym and in the basketball workouts to pick up on my weaknesses.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's smart. And then you have a good understanding of what you have to do. And that's really good. And I want to talk about last season. Obviously, last season you had suffered an injury with your wrist and everything. But what
a
was the season
couple.
with that?
I said I suffered a couple.
A couple injuries. Um, so I mean, what was your preparation and getting ready for the season? Did you play at all? Like how did it work out for you?
So I mean, I prepared super hard. Like I said, I'm probably prepared too hard for the season.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it was just like really unfortunate luck. I mean, I've had a bad back for a while now. And it just like comes and goes. But now I've been doing a lot better with strengthening. I figured out stuff that I can do in stretches, which it really comes out to flexibility is a big thing that has helped my lower back like not be as bothered. Um, but I mean, the season started. I was having back problems. Just pushed through it, kept playing, would ice it after practice and stuff. And then started out, played a couple games, but I wasn't really getting, I was coming off the bench just because I wasn't healthy and I hadn't been practicing and stuff. And then I ended up landing on my teammate's foot in practice and sprained my ankle, like probably the worst that I'd ever sprained it.
Yeah.
And that was in about December or January, I think.
Yeah.
So that had me out because I've sprained my ankle like a lot of times. Like that was definitely the worst, like by far. Like I couldn't walk on it for like probably a week after it happened.
Oh
So
wow.
that had me out for like the better part of 2 months maybe. And then trying to come back into the rotation like late in the season. So I got to play like the last like 6 or 7 games of our season, like including the playoffs. And then one of the first games back, um, we were playing Marie Phillip, and I remember I was going for a loose ball, and I hit heads with some kid really bad, and was like concussed. And against better judgment, I kept playing.
Oh no.
And then I hit my head again at practice this time, just being dumb. And I ended up cutting my eyebrow open.
Oh my
And
God.
then I had to go get stitches, but that was fine. It was just scary because I know after you hit your head once, you're not supposed to like do it again.
Yeah.
Luckily, I'm okay.
Yeah, thank God.
And then in our playoff games, I think it was SENE opening round. We were playing McDuffie,
Yeah.
and I tried to take a charge under the basket and ended up landing on my wrist. And then that's like what I was telling you about, where it was I had like 2 different bone contusions and like tendonitis in like 2 different spots or something. It was just a whole mess. So that had me out for a better part of like 2 months.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. So it's kind of definitely not the season that you hope for when you're training that and working that hard, which can
Yeah.
definitely be tough for your mental health. But I feel like you just gotta focus on the positives and just try to get better.
Yeah. Where does that like mentality of just kind of like, I mean, sounds like, I mean, after all those injuries, it sounds like very frustrating and annoying and like upsetting. Obviously, like, I mean, I've been there. Like literally when I played, it sounded exactly like me. Like I'd have an injury like every other like day, like, or I'd chip a tooth or I get a concussion or like something like that. I mean, how do you mentally just kind of get over that hump of just like dealing with the frustration and be like, what's wrong? Like, am I made of glass? Like, like that type, like you kind of get like upset. Like, what's the mentality there?
No, I know 100% what you mean. I get those same feelings. Like I've been to the point where I'll be like, should I even keep playing it like after
Yeah.
this happens? Because it's just you work so hard like for months and months just to see like season that you work so hard for it kind of get thrown like down the drain by something that you really can't control. Um, but I would say something that's helped me a lot is just having like the right people in my corner to help push me. Because there have been times like I feel like I come off as being very motivated, but there obviously just like everybody else, I have times where like I'll be hesitant and I'll be like, is it even worth it?
Yeah.
And I would say just having the right people in my corner really helps me out. Like for example, I think Parker Mason was featured on an episode of here, right?
Yeah.
If it wasn't for him, I really don't know where I'd be because I mean he's like my best friend. He's helped me through so much.
Oh,
And especially with that stuff, especially being hurt, him helped me just see like the light at the end of the tunnel because I really don't think I would be doing what I'm doing now if it wasn't for him.
oh wow. Yeah. Yeah. Parker's shout out to Parker. He's a great kid. And
Mm.
I hope he's doing well. I haven't talked to him in a while, but I hope he's doing well. Is he playing at Babson still?
He
Or?
is, he is. He had to get he's still rehabbing his knee from getting surgery his senior season, but he's getting back. I've been seeing him in the gym a lot and he's looking good. So
Yeah, that's good.
I hope it was a good season at Babson this year. He should be just fine.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad that you have a good friend like Parker to kind of, help you out there and, keep the mentality in the right spot. So that's what you need in life and some good guidance like that. And obviously you have a good mentality. It sounds like, which sucks dealing with all the injuries, but besides all the injuries, I mean, what was your time playing at Providence Country Day school? Like, what was the time like there and, playing in games and playing in an SSAT?
It was definitely a cool experience because like this was my first time playing in like the NEPSAC. So being
Hmm.
able to travel like all over the place for game stuff was definitely cool. And I mean, I had good coaching this year with Coach Sink and Evan Lancia. So I'm super grateful to them. They taught me a lot of things, valuable lessons, especially like with me being hurt, just how to deal with it like mentally. And also how to like deal with it mentally while not being too hard on myself, but also hold myself like accountable, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Um, so I mean, I'm super grateful for all the lessons that I learned this year. I made a lot of friends at Providence Country Day School. But like I've been saying, I feel like I just need to focus on the future and move forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. You gotta get going, and obviously the future's bright. You're playing at Rocky Hill, and you're working hard this offseason. You're already showing, like like you said, you're losing the weight, and you're getting back in the basketball shape. So that's the most important thing. Are you training with Parker at all? Are you beating him up, beating him down on the block or anything?
Yeah, so we'll work out basketball a lot. In the gym, I mostly just do my individual stuff because we're very different built people, so we do
Yeah.
different workouts. Um, but yeah, no, we definitely go at each other now. That's a good way that I like scale my like how much I'm getting back to myself. Also, is like if I play him, am I like holding my own? Then I know that I'm like getting back to it. And if I'm getting my butt kicked, then I know like I got more work to do.
Yeah. Parker is obviously both you a good person, good skill, someone that plays at the college level, a good person to scale with and to go at it with.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I want to know, Silas too, where did the passion for basketball come from? Like, how did like this all start and lead you to where you're going today?
Yeah, so it's a really weird story. I started playing basketball pretty late. I started playing when I was in like third or fourth grade, but I didn't have a basketball hoop because of like financial problems. Like I was telling you, I lived in an apartment until I was like 12.
Yeah,
So I didn't actually have a basketball hoop until I was like in like eighth grade or something.
yeah,
Um, so the way that I started playing basketball is I remember I was in like elementary school and my friends were talking about I didn't even know basketball was at the time. And my friends were talking about it. And you know how it is in elementary school, like you want to be cool.
yeah,
So they were
yeah.
talking about the Heat, like the Miami Heat. And I didn't know, I had no idea what they were talking about. I was like, who's the Heat? And I like thought it was like a wrestler, I remember. And I was like, oh yeah, I like the Heat. He's my favorite. That guy's so
Yeah.
cool. And I just remember feeling like an idiot. So then I remember I got home because I didn't have cable either. So like I couldn't like watch NBA games.
Yeah.
We would get to see like occasional free ones, but then my dad's not like a big basketball guy, so I didn't really know what it was.
Yep.
Um, so I remember I went home and I was like, Dad, I want to play basketball. And then I signed up for the rec league, and then I started playing and playing. And I just started falling in love with it. And I remember one of my coaches took the time and taught me like how to shoot it because obviously I was doing like the
Yeah.
2 minute shot.
Release
And
the
you know what?
dubs.
I just really like fell in love with. I do this with everything. I know we were talking about golf before the podcast. I do the same thing with that. What
Yeah,
I'll do is I like find something that I like doing, and then I like fall in love with it until I can like perfect it. You know what I mean?
that's good.
So I feel like then I really just took off from there. Also, when I was in middle school, I used to get like picked on a little bit because I was a heavier kid.
Yeah.
Um, so I remember basketball. That's when I really started falling in love with basketball because at that point I had my own basketball hoop.
Yeah.
And I remember I was super mad because I was like, I had like baby fat, you know what I mean? Because I hadn't hit puberty and stuff yet. So I would go out in the driveway in the middle of summer with like a pair of sweatpants and a hoodie on. And I'd just be like doing dribbling drills. I'd be shooting. And then that's when I really started playing like every day and I just fell in love with it and never really looked back since.
That's awesome, man. I mean, the dedication and it's an interesting story too of just how you started to fall in love with the game of
Yeah, I
just
feel like it's definitely an original one.
yeah, that is an original one. The Heat being a wrestler, which is I'm surprised that isn't a wrestler's name, but it might be out there somewhere. But it's cool, man. And it sounds like you're like you said, a perfect like you want to perfect it and become great at the sport. And same thing with golf as we talked about off air. And obviously great things are coming down the line for you and the hard work and dedication has been there. You can tell by the conversation that we're having here is the motivation. You're just like you're very fired up and you love basketball and it's what you're all about.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. I mean, I just try to be the best like version of myself that I can be because at the end of the day, that's all like anybody can ask for.
Yeah, definitely, man. And good for you to keep working hard and great things are going to take you down to, places that you don't think maybe you expected to set goals for yourself and it could take you to other places for sure. But your basketball dreams are going to come true for sure.
Thank you,
Um,
man.
of course. So now I want to go on to the next part of the interview, which is the 5 questions, pretty much fun questions that I like to ask people. And so my first question is always is what's your favorite food?
Favorite food? That's such a hard question. Like people ask me that all the time and I never know the answer. Um, this is gonna sound weird, but like my dad's like very Portuguese. Like he grew up like Fall River Portuguese family.
Yeah.
Um, so I remember we used to go to the Portuguese club and I would get like the $2 kale soup.
Oh, okay.
I'm a big kale soup fan.
Oh, really? All right. I never had kale soup before.
Yeah, it's a Portuguese thing. I like it. It's good.
Oh, all right. I'll have to try it next time out somewhere or see if I can make it somehow. And then what's your favorite NBA team and NBA player, or if you just have a favorite player?
All right. This one I'm not like super proud of, but just because, like I said, I grew up without cable,
Yeah.
so we don't get like the like bad games I want on TV. So the teams that I always used to see was I was watching the Knicks all the time. That was back when Carmelo Anthony was on the Knicks.
Yeah.
And then I used to get a lot of Bulls games too, but the Knicks have been my favorite team since then.
Oh, all right.
I
That's
think
that's
there's a
not. What's
I
that?
think there's a video of me when I was like 14 saying that the Knicks are gonna win the title in like 2029 or something. So we'll see if that holds true.
Hey, hopefully it could come true. Hopefully they go in the right direction. I mean, there's been rumors that they might get Jalen Brunson or they might get Kyrie. I don't know what they're. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, I hope not Kyrie. That's all I
Yeah.
ask for. And then my favorite player though, that's I forgot. My favorite player is Kevin Durant.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I like
He's
Kevin
been my
Durant.
favorite player since I was like,
Like, yeah, he's so good, and I wonder where he's gonna end up. I don't know if he's gonna stay in Brooklyn if they get rid of Kyrie or what, but should be an interesting aspect. Just gotta keep changing jerseys, unfortunately. Is that why you wear 7?
it is. That was why I started wearing 7. Yeah.
Because of
I
KD?
remember I used to wear 35 before that. That was like my old Xbox name. It was like KD basketball 35.
I like it. And then what do you have like a favorite basketball shoe that you like to wear?
Yeah, it's definitely harder now because they're so expensive. But
Yeah.
I've gotten a lot of the Aunt Pearl KDs whenever those come out because, like I said, my grandma passed from cancer.
Yeah.
So I used to always like to wear pink, so I would get the pink KDs, and I
Nice.
like KDs a lot. And then the other shoe that I found out that I really like love, and I wish I didn't because I can't get them anymore, is the like Kobe 4 Protros. I
Oh,
had like the draft day color, just like
yeah.
the Charlotte Hornets color.
Yeah.
And like those shoes, I didn't like them at first, but after you broke them in, they were like the
Oh,
best shoes I've ever had. And now they're like $1,000. So
oh, jeez. Yeah.
not
Yeah.
getting those anymore.
Too expensive.
Yeah.
And then do you have a favorite type of music that you like?
My music, I mean, I feel like I have like a really wide variety of music. Like I could even listen to like I like everything from like I listen to a lot of hip hop, obviously. And then I'll even listen to like alternative though and like country, not a little bit of tiny bit of country, not a lot of country. But pop and stuff. But I would say my favorite genre, I like R&B a lot. I listen to a lot of like Brent Fayez.
Nice. I don't know who that is, but I'll have
Uh,
to check
check
him
them
out.
out.
Yeah. Yeah. And then last question to ask everyone, favorite thing to do outside of basketball? I might know this one. So
Yeah, I definitely we were talking about it. I definitely like golfing a lot. I actually went surfing for the first time the other day,
nice.
and that was super fun. So I kind of like that now too. So I don't know. I got a couple things, but
Oh
definitely I
yeah.
would say that probably.
Well, you got a busy summer if you're gonna do both of those.
Yeah, I know.
That's awesome, Silas. Well, this has been a great interview, man. You're a very well-spoken young man, and great, bright future down the line for yourself because you worked very hard. You can tell that you really want it really bad to make basketball, like take basketball to another level, and how hard you work. And you got a bright future just outside of basketball too. I think in work world or business world or being a CEO or a founder or something like that, you just have a very high motor to work hard, and I think you got a bright future ahead of you. But I can't thank you enough for being on the show, man. It's been a great interview.
No, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. And I really appreciate everything you said. It means a lot. Thank you. Like seriously, like from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much, man.
Yeah, of course, man. Everything you deserve great things, and they're gonna come to you for sure.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Of course. All right, man. Well, I'll talk to you later. I hope you have a great one.
All right, I'll talk to you later. Before I go, everybody, make sure you tune in with Rody Rumback. Drop a follow.
I I appreciate that, man. That means a lot.
All right, I'll see you, man.
Later.